Next is to create the code block for the fruit sprite. First, let's prepare the code to display apples and oranges randomly from the random places on the stage. I drag a when flag click code block from events here. Since you want to hide the first sprite, drag a hide code block under looks here. Now, let's drag a forever code block under controls like this. I drag a set x2 code block under motion into this forever code block. Now, let's connect here a pick random code block under operator. I give two values here as -100 and 100. Now let's drag a create clone of myself code block under control below the set x2 code block. Since I want fruits to be displayed like this every 2 seconds, I drag a wait 1 second code block in the control here. Now let's change the time here to 2 seconds. Okay, now we have randomly cloned fruits from random places on the stage, but the fruits are still hidden. Next, we need to display these fruits. Not only that, it is necessary to move these fruits from the bottom of the stage to the top. Now let's create the code for this part. I click on Control and drag a when I start as a clone code block here. First, since we want to display the hidden clone, let's drag a show code block from looks here. We have changed the X position of the clones in the first part of the code, but we did not change the Y position. Here, we need to change the Y position, so let's create a variable for that. I click a make a variable button in the variable category. Let's name the variable as gravity effect. Set the data type as number and click the OK button. Again, let's create a variable to change the number of degrees fruits are rotated. I click the make a variable button here again. Let's give the name of the variable as dir. Here too, the data type is set as number and the OK button is clicked. Okay, now the two variables we have created are added here. First, let's give the value of gravity effect variable as 15. I drag a set dir to 0 code block under variables here. Now click on the arrow in front of dir and select gravity effect. Here the value is given as 15. Next, a point in direction 90 code block under motion is dragged here. Let's change the value here to 0. Next, we need to provide a value for the dir variable. I drag a set dir to 0 code block under variables here. For the value, a pick random code block is connected to the operators. We give the value here as -5 and 5. Next, we need to alternatively display apples and oranges added as fruits here. Let's go to the Costumes tab and see how many costumes we want to display here in the fruit sprite. Here, we want to display uncut fruits. So, we need to display the first and second costume. Again, I go to the Blocks tab. A switch costume to code block is dragged under looks below the set dir2 code block. Now a pick random code block in the operators is connected here. We give here the values 1 and 2. Okay, next is to move the fruits up and change the direction. Let's connect here a repeat until code block under control. For the condition here, a touching mouse pointer code block under sensing is connected. Now click on the arrow in front of the mouse pointer and select edge. Drag a move 10 steps code block under motion into this repeat until code block. Let's change the value here as 3. Also, it is necessary to change the direction of the fruits moving up here. We can use the dir variable we created for this. Earlier, we assigned a value between -5 and +5 in the dir variable. Here, we can use that value for the direction. I drag a turn 15 degrees code block in motions here. Instead of 15, let's connect a dir code block under variables here. Next is to change the Y position of the fruits. We created a variable called gravity effect for this. Here, we give the value of the gravity effect variable for the Y position. I drag a change Y by 10 code block in motions below the turn dir degrees code block. For the value here, let's connect a gravity effect code block in the variables. Initially, we gave the value of the gravity effect variable as 15. If we continue to give the value of the gravity effect variable for the y position, every clone will start from the same y position. Therefore, when we repeat this loop, we decrease the value of the gravity effect by 1. I dragged a change dir by 1 code block in variables into this repeat until code block. Click on the arrow in front of dir and select gravity effect. I will change the value here to minus. Okay. Now, like this, the apples and oranges are continuously displaying randomly. If these apples and oranges go to the end of the stage, in this way, they need to be deleted. For that, we connect a delete this clone code block under control below this repeat until code block like this.